Here we have the Kinorhyncha. Thanks for coming in.
Yes, of course, I'm Kinorhyncha. Kianu for short, but you can call me Spiky Crownworm.
Oh wow, where'd you get that name from?
Well, I have about 13 to 14 segmented parts, which all the spines that help me to move.
Really? That's so interesting. Do you swim as well?
Fortunately, no, but that's one of the cool things about me. You see, I use the spines and adhesive tubes on my trunk to crawl through the sand. That's why they also called me the Mud Dragon.
I'm impressed. You sure are quite a creature. Let's take it to Bill to get an overview of your structure.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Here we see the Kinorhyncha has bilateral symmetry with two tissue layers. It has a head that includes a mouth cone surrounded by stylets, also known as spines. What's unique about this feature is that the head can be retracted into the trunk. The first segment is the head, the second is the neck, and the trunk includes 11 segments, and when looking at the internal anatomy, we see it is highly related to the outer segmentation because of the nervous system, muscles, and glandular systems are all distinctly segmented. Yet the Kinorhyncha do not have appendages. It's important to note that it has small, fluid-filled pseudocolumate body cavities. The spacious interior of the body cavity allows for this type of retraction. Finally, if we take a look at its support system, we see that it has a hydrostatic metameric exoskeleton with flexible cuticles between the dorsal and ventral plates for movement. Back to you, Helen.
Thanks, Bill. Now tell me more about your lifestyle. I see here on Instagram you have had quite the glow up.
Oh God, no, I'm so embarrassed. Jeez.
What a transformation you've gone through, and you've managed to stay so thin after all this time.
Oh gosh, Helen, thanks. I've been watching what I eat so I stay on the right developmental track.
And what's your diet exactly? The people want to know how they can look as good as you.
Well, I tend to stick with my diatoms, bacteria, organic material, and algae. You know, just a really clean diet.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. I need meat in my diet.
I understand. Just a small guy like me has to keep it simple.
Well, keep up the good work. But before we go to break, Bill has some interesting facts to share with us.
Yes, Helen. The developmental patterns of the Kinorhyncha start as fertilized eggs that are deposited in egg cases and embryos that undergo direct development in juvenile stages, emerging with body segments fully formed. Then the final two segments are added during a series of 6 molts as they progress to adulthood. While the exact lifespan is unknown, scientists assume that it is short because they are eaten by larger marine animals such as shrimp. Next, the Kinorhyncha digestive system is extracellular and complete with the mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, intestine, and anus, which is quite unique for this little guy. And seeing that it's so small and can live in all aquatic environments, it tends to stick with planktivore diets that include unicellular algae and organic material that is ingested through the pharynx or is sometimes stored on their heads to be ingested later. What's also interesting is that the Kinorhyncha is a heterothermic organism, which means its temperature varies between regulating its own body temperature and letting its surrounding environment affect it.
Thanks for coming back. Now let's get serious. Tell me about your love life. I hear you on the new season of The Bachelor that's coming out next month.
Well, yes, I am. And I actually have a trailer for the new season. Would y'all like to see?
All right, let's roll the clip.
Coming up next season in The Bachelor, we've got a lot happening. Both females and males have paired gonads and short gonaducts. The male has 2 to 3 hollow or often rigid spicules associated with their gynophores, and our lucky females have both germ cells and nutritive cells in their gonads and oviducts with seminal receptacles. Any guesses to who our special guest will be? Tune in to learn more about it starting this coming January.
So, who's the lucky lady that'll win your heart?
I don't have a heart. Just kidding, but I actually don't. But once I find the right lady, I hope to make 3 to 6 eggs with her.
And I hope you find her. Let's take it to Bill.
I'll briefly share that Kinorhyncha lack both a circulatory and respiratory system, yet their nervous system includes 10 ganglia arranged in a ring and the ventral double nerve cord. Back to you, Helen.
Well, that wraps up the show for today, ladies and gentlemen. Is there anything you'd like to add?
No, but thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. Everyone, make sure to catch the season premiere of The Bachelor next month, and see you next time.
Up next, Diversity Within You, starring Kinorhyncha, sponsored by 23andMe, where we discuss its major family members and their qualities. He's part of the phylum Cephalorhyncha, also known as Kinorhyncha, and that includes 2 orders, 10 families, and over 150 species. The 2 orders are Cyclorhyncha and Homorhyncha. Most of his family looks like worms with several segments, and they all live in an aquatic environment. Only discovered in 1841 with no information on his origin or fossil records. Due to his habitat and size, Kinorhyncha decided to reach out to us for some help looking into his past. Using 23andMe, we analyzed 3 different phylogenetic trees to help dig deep into Kinorhyncha's evolutionary history. With our data matrix phylogenetic tree, we looked at physical characteristics of 7 taxa along with Kinorhyncha to compare. Looking at this, we see that the outgroup is Porifera and the closest relative is Chordata. With our 16S phylogenetic tree, we analyzed the 16S rRNA of 7 taxa along with his to produce this tree. Results show that the outgroup and closest relative to Kinorhyncha is Porifera. We also provided a published phylogenetic tree for reference that includes the analysis of the 18S and the 28S rRNA sequences. This provided a more detailed tree from our 16S tree because the genes analyzed are different and also more taxa are included. Here, the closest relative to Kinorhyncha is the Priapoluta. Based on this, we suggest that the Kinorhyncha might have evolved to fill an ecological niche in the food chain. Try 23andMe and get your family history today.